Hey guys, it is about that time of year to do the end of year tag. Hey guys, if you're new here, welcome to the Book Path. I'm Nicole, and if this isn't your first rodeo, thanks for sticking with me. It is about that time. If you guys are watching around, you'll see a lot of booktubers are doing the end of the year tag, even though it is not the end of the year. Don't panic. This is just to kind of go about what we're kind of feeling as the end of the year approaches. So there are a few standard questions, and let's go ahead and get right to it. So question number 1. What books have you started that you need to finish? As for this one, I know that you guys know I've been trying to make my way through the Cassandra Clare Shadowhunter universe. I finished the Infernal Devices trilogy, and I've been trying hard to finish The Last Hours. I am on the last book, which is Chain of Thorns. This is the last one in the Lost Hours series before I can go on to the Mortal Instruments series, which I've been having sit up there since Christmas. So I really need to get this done at some point, but she is a chunky book. So I might have to just split this up and just have this be an ongoing book in the background and read a little bit each day as I try to attempt other challenges. But this is definitely a book that is on my list that I really need to finish this year. So question number 2, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? Yes, I do. It's actually on my T.B.R for September. I'm trying to get it done for Battleathon as well as the Magical Readathon prompt, which was to read a dark academia book. I don't know if this really qualifies as dark academia because I don't think it's placed at a school. However, when I checked on Goodreads for a list of dark academia books, this is one that came up, so I'm counting it. And that is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Thurton. This one is basically Evelyn Hardcastle will die every day until Aidan Bishop can identify her killer and break the cycle. But every time the day begins again, Aidan wakes up in the body of a different guest, and some of his hosts are more helpful than others. This to me was spooky because it's a murder mystery, and I always feel like everybody else where spooky season's coming, murder mysteries kind of come with the territory. So that is kind of why this is my autumnal book, because it gives me those spooky vibes with the fact of it's a murder mystery, him trying to do it with that little twist that's kind of almost Groundhog Day, but him waking up in the body of a new person each time is just a little bit more like, ooh. So this is definitely the book that I think is going to usher in the fall autumn vibes for me this year. Question number 3, is there still, or are there still new releases that you are waiting for? Yes, there are. Many, many, many more that I am actually getting because gotta reel it in. But I do have 3 books that I have pre-ordered and I'm waiting like with anticipation. But yes, with anticipation, I am still waiting for Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. I think this was coming out October 10th, I want to say. It's the next one that I should be expecting. This one I'm super eager to get to because, as you know, been trying to get through Cassandra Clare books, but this is a book that doesn't take place in the Shadowhunter realm. This is something completely brand new. So I am loving the Shadowhunter world. I love all the myths, legends, the creatures, the folklore, everything in the Shadowhunter realm. So I'm very curious to see if I will still love Cassandra Clare's writing when it's not about the Shadowhunters. I'm pretty sure I will. I just really like the way she writes. It's easygoing, but it still affects you. So we shall see. So that is a book that I am waiting for. Other than that, the 3rd book in Stephanie Garber's trilogy, A Curse for True Love, will be coming out. I think it's the end of October. That is the final book in her Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I have them up over there. I have the first 2. I'm really looking forward to the 3rd book because the 2nd book left off on a cliffhanger. And I'm thinking that now you're going to start to find out the truths behind, I think it was the hunter folklore or folktale that the main character was given, and the love that's going on and how there's like a love triangle in this. It's been a while since I've read the first 2, so I can't fully remember names and everything, but I really loved kind of this fairy tale-esque world that's been created. The colors just seem to like kind of pop alive in this story. So I'm really excited to get to read that and then have the trilogy be complete. And the last book that I'm waiting on is A Fire in the Flesh by Jennifer L. Armentrout. You guys don't know, I am the JLA junkie. I have my collection. This is the next one in the I can't remember what the name of the trilogy is, but it was The Light and the Flame, The Shadow and Ember. This is the one that's kind of the prequel series that's, I think, like 500 years before Blood and Ash. I'm not certain about the dates, but I know it happens a lot, like a certain amount of time before Blood and Ash, but it's still in that same world. And you have the Lord of Darkness and the Lord of, the Light and everything. And it was a very interesting world. I was loving the dragon characters in this. So I am ready to dive right back in there, see where it goes, because once again, that one too left off on a little bit of a cliffhanger. And I feel like the love triangle it's kind of been pointing to is going to come to full fruition in this next book. So really excited for that one. Question number 4. What are 3 books that you want to read? Well, aside from the 3 that we just touched on that I'm waiting for the pre-orders for, there are a few that I've picked up recently that I really want to try to get to in the upcoming months. The first one is Assistant to the Villain. This one really sucked me in because it said it was a combination of Once Upon a Time meets The Office, and I thought that was such an intriguing way to kind of present it that I really wanted to do it. And so you basically have a girl who is the assistant to a villain, and I think her villain gets like arrested or something, and she now has to kind of find the stuff to help the villain out. Also, she's kind of crushing on the boss a little bit. So it just seems like it could be a lot of fun. So I'm hoping that maybe I might be able to get to this in like October. We shall see what happens. But yes, this one looks like it could be a lot of fun. Next up, this one has been on my list for a while, but I didn't know that they were re-releasing it in paperback, and it was a little bit cheaper, so I figured I'm going to take a chance on it, and that is God Killer by Hannah Kaner, or Kaner. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, so please forgive me. The cover on this is still beautiful, despite it being the paperback. But this one is basically, I'm not completely sure what it is, but you have gods, goddesses, you have quests, you have assassins, demons, civil war, and it looks like a young girl or a young woman at the center of it all. So it just sounded really good. Like I said, beautiful, beautiful cover. I've heard good reviews on it. So this would be one that I really want to get to before the year is over. And the third book would be The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. This is I believe it's the finale in The Crowns of Nyaxia. I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night way back when, and I just recently finished The Six Scorched Roses, which was kind of like the little novella between The Serpent and the Wings of Night and this book. So this is the final book to that. It's supposed to be a duology, but with The Six Scorched Roses, I almost want to call it a trilogy, where you have kind of the vampires and the different factions and seeing where the story goes from there. You have the House of Night that's, starting to take over. Very spicy scenes in here that were very well done. You had the competition in the beginning one. Now this is the aftermath. So I'm very curious to see where it kind of goes. I feel like now it's going to be a little bit of an enemies to lovers. Like it was a enemies to teammates to lovers to now enemies second chance relationship vibes, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so it'll be really interesting to see where the relationships go in this. It is a chunker, but I do want to get this one done. And then that would be like another series to be finished, which would be a great goal because aren't we always trying to finish off the series? And it feels like we just keep adding new ones to the list. So anyway, we have question number 5. Is there a book that could still shock you and become your fave book of the year? I'm going to say obviously there's going to be something because while I have a lot of books that I'm planning to read by the end of the year that I feel are going to be pretty good books, there's always a chance for me picking out something, especially for like a prompt that I might not have chosen otherwise that might surprise me. I mean, we have our challenge accepted jar there, and I could easily pick something out of there that I might not have been too keen on reading, and it'll completely blow my mind. So I would say definitely there's a chance for something to surprise me and become one of my more favorite books. There's also a chance for anything that I have on the plan that I think is going to be a decent read to completely, you know, shake me to my core and be like something epic. So definitely. And our final question is, have you already started making reading content plans for 2024? I'm going to mimic some of the other videos that I've seen on this question, and I'm going to say yes and no. I'm still trying to focus on some of the stuff that I want to do for the end of the year. But I've played around with ideas of what I could do next year, and I think that really taking a look at doing the videos now that I've been doing it for a year and seeing that part as well as year 2 for me in a lot of readathons, I've really kind of finalized now, I think, which readathons I want to participate in going forward, as well as how to categorize books to be able to complete the TBRs that I do try to achieve and challenge myself with, as well as which ones have been achievable that I might be able to work extra content in or extra personal little projects in, different types of series that I might want to try to challenge myself to read in a month. Things like that, and which months those would work the best in because of the other readathons that I try to participate in. Obviously, I am always looking for ideas and prompts from you guys. So if you ever feel like there is a book you want to have me read, you want me to add something to the challenge accepted jar, you want to see a certain style vlog from me, anything like that, I am more than willing to listen. Shoot me an email, put it in the comments below, anything. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and any advice in those contents and in the content creation that you would have, because you guys matter. You know, this is kind of why we do it, to share our thoughts with you and also just kind of to talk about books and have an outlet to do so. But other than that, that is kind of my plans for the end of the year. If you guys have, once again, any advice, put it in the comments below. Any comments on what I'm trying to get done, put it down below, send me an email, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. Stay warm, stay healthy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.